is going to be strictly about records I've found at thrift stores, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's almost like panning for gold, digging for treasure, whatever cliche you want to use. It's fun to me though. It's something I try to do whenever I have a chance. If I pass a thrift store, I just, it's kind of like an urge. I've got to check it out. 9 times out of 10, you don't find anything, but that last time when you do find something, really kind of makes it all worthwhile. Kind of keeps you going. Actually, finding records at thrift stores really got me started in collecting vinyl. I've always had tapes and CDs in my hip-hop collection, but only had a small amount of records, and found a really good amount of quality vinyl one time, and ever since then it's kind of been something that I just like to do now. And like I said, shopping at thrift stores is what really got me started in it. So I'm just gonna go through this whole stack here. This is all stuff I've picked up at thrift stores, not really in any kind of order. So I'll just kind of set it up, just try to keep it as brief as possible. So I just kind of attack this stack here. First one is Alcoholics with No Hands Out, Coast to Coast, Betty Bye, and on the B side it's got the Buck Wild remix of Damn. This is really all stuff that came out around the same time that the Coast to Coast album came out, which is between that and the 21 and Over EP, definitely their best work. So this is all stuff from that era. All 4 of these tracks are dope. If you're a fan of the Alcoholics, definitely peep this. It's not really expensive, not really that hard to find, but it's definitely quality. I think you can find it on Discogs for like, I don't know, $6 or $7 or something. This is dope. Found this, Rod Digger, Imperial, Pharoah Monch, Simon Says, Still in the Shrink, Notorious B.I.G., One More Chance, Nas, Made You Look. This one was still sealed. Redman, Rockefeller, off the Dare Is the Dark Side album, which is personally my favorite Redman album. Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. This one, when I found this, there were actually 3 copies of this. I didn't realize how hard to find it was. I see this going for like $15 just for one 12-inch. I wish I would have picked them all up, but it was one of probably my favorite R&B tracks from the 90s. It's a dope song. It's got the Beat Miners remix on it too. It's a bonus. Dr. Dre, Been There, Done That, video mix. AZ, Sugar Hill remix. Afu Ra, Whirlwind Through Cities, Still in the Shrink. I got 2 copies of this that day actually. Black Moon, this is How Many MCs? This is the 96 Evil D remix. Not nearly as dope as the original version, but still, you can't leave something like that if you find it at a thrift store. Black Moon, Who Got the Props? Dope track. Boss, Deeper. Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. Camp Lo, Lucchini, one of my all-time favorite 90s tracks. It's so jazzy, it's so upbeat. It's just, you can't deny this. Everybody knows that track though. You have to have that. Jeru, the original. This is a Red Label. It came out around the same time as the Payday stuff, but I actually got 2 copies of that. X-Clan, Funkin' Lesson, 12-inch. People don't really seem to respect the X-Clan now. They were pretty big in the early 90s. Always had quality material, and people aren't really checking for them now. But X-Clan is, that shit is still holds up pretty well. Murder Was the Case soundtrack, 12 inches of Sam Snead, You Better Recognize. Rasco, The Unassisted. Don't have a lot of underground West Coast stuff, so that was kind of cool to find. Planet Asia and 427, Bringing It Back. Nice and Smooth, Hip Hop Junkies. Mr. Liff, this was Triangular Warfare. Mr. Liff, front on this. Mobb Deep, Quiet Storm. Funny story about this, the day I found this at Goodwill, there were actually 2 copies in here. You know, DJ had donated stuff, and right before I went to that Goodwill, I had bought a single, copy of this for like $3 at a record show, and the sleeve wasn't even in great shape. It's just funny how stuff works out like that. You know, then I found 2 copies for $1. They were in much nicer shape. MC Shan, Jane Stop That Crazy Thing, and Cocaine. Ghostface Killer, Apollo Kids. Marley Marl Scratch. I think I had this in my earlier video. Common, The Light. Buckshot LaFunk Sampler. Paula Perry, Extra Extra, produced by Primo. DJ Premier Unreleased Instrumentals Volume 2. I think the deal with this one, I actually got this one too. This is Volume 1. I think the deal was there were supposed to be instrumentals for tracks that didn't have their own instrumentals on 12-inch, but there's some stuff on there that it was on 12-inch. So I'm not really sure how that works, but I definitely was glad to find those anyway. Show and AG, Next Level. Pitch Black, It's All Real. DOS Effects, Caught in the Act, the Premiere remix. DITC, Thick. The Youngsters, No Mercy. I think this album only came on promo. Unfortunately, you know, it's got some markings on it and everything, but, you know, it plays great. Sadat X, Wild Cowboys, still on the shrink. Outkast, AT-Aliens, the clean version. Supercat, Ghetto Red Hot. I used to love watching the OMTV Raps. They always used to play this. The hip-hop mix of this is just, love it. Incredibly dope. Screwball, HOSTYLE. The Loonies, I got 5 on it. It's funny, it's got these DO markings. I guess that was the initials of the DJ. What's trippy about it to me though is a lot of these records I found at one time, and I found a bunch of them that had those markings on there. I was watching another video on YouTube. This guy picked up some records. I think it was in San Francisco. They had the same exact initials and handwriting and everything on them. I'm way on the East Coast. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if Goodwill just ships stuff wherever, but I don't know what the odds are. It's just crazy that I saw another video with a guy that found some of the same guy's collection. Here's another one from that, actually, Lords of the Underground. What I'm After. It's a test pressing. Kind of strange to find that, but definitely dope. Jay-Z, So Ghetto. MOP, Annie Up remix. These next two are crazy. In retrospect, they were crazy to find at a thrift store. But this is some of the first stuff I found, so it didn't really quite hit me the same. But got an Old Dirty Bastard, Return of the 36 Chambers. I think this is cool too. You know, with the artwork being on vinyl, this is one of the things that really got me into collecting. Is just the artwork, you know, the driver's license, full size. Genius Liquid Swords. This one, you know, it's the original release. It's got the artwork, all the artwork in it still and everything. Classic album, obviously, but just crazy to find that. Scarface, My Block, and the B-side, produced by Kanye West, Guess Who's Back with Jay-Z, is really what I love on that one. Truck, Breaker 1, and Who Am I? Actually, no, this is just Breaker 1. Yeah, this is the one produced by Premier. Common, 6 Cents. Truck, Symphony 2000. This is the one with Who Am I on it, produced by Premier. Royce the 5'9", Boom. Nas is Like. D'Angelo, Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine. It's got a Premier remix and an Eric Sermon remix on it, which is cool. Maybe not some of their best work, but you can't deny, you know, a 12-inch with a Eric Sermon and a Premier remix on it. Screwball, Seen It All, FAYBAN. Special Ed, Freaky Flow remix, Premier. Gangstar, Right Where You Stand, and Nice Girl, Wrong Place. Fat Joe, Bitch a Man Can, and the B-side, That Gangster Shit, produced by Premier. Ed O.G., Saying Something. Group Home, Superstar. Like I said, man, $1 for all this stuff. Gangstar, You Know My Steez. Dougie Fresh, alright remixes. So it's got 2 remixes on here. This was actually kind of hard to find. Prince Paul, Prince Among Thieves, 12-inch by De La Soul, More Than You Know. I didn't even realize this was a single, but I love that Prince Among Thieves album, so I was ecstatic to find that. Afu Ra, Big Axe, Little Axe with Jizza, and Afu Ra, Defeat. So, like I said, this is all stuff I picked up at thrift stores, and hopefully somebody else is out there shares my sickness. If not, I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you think. Peace.